Brats, I think our channel was actually the first channel to report the fact that there was an issue with Elite straps that were being reported broken back in the day. Well, we have finally gotten our hands on one, and I want to see what does it take to break a brand new Elite strap. Let's test this thing out. So first we'll do a quick opening here. We've had one on the channel before, but that was before we knew there was anything wrong with it. There might have already been an unboxing of it. It looks just like the Oculus Quest 2 box, but smaller, which is kind of a cool detail that they did. Remove with care, because you don't want to break it getting it out of the box. Elite strap, and the rest is just books and crap. I will say, in a lot of research I've done, we'll pull some of this up on the screen here for you to look at, it does seem like what it is it's actually a batch issue. It seems like a certain batch, or at least a certain kind of plastic that somebody used in creating some of these straps, just breaks over time. And when I say just breaks, I don't mean it's not necessarily always in the middle of use. It's not when they're trying to bend or flex it. People have said they haven't played their Quest for a month, they left it sitting on the stand, and when they came back, it was just broken. So that means that maybe over time, hot and cold cycles, or sitting at the wrong angle, or something in the plastic dried out and became really brittle to where it just broke on its own. We don't know for sure, but it does seem like it's something to do with that. So we'll install this real quick, and we'll do our first of many tests here by putting it on and off, being a little more aggressive with it than you'd probably normally be, and see if we can have anything go wrong here. So there is a lot of people online who have gone through the trouble of going and telling other people that it's their fault, of course, that their Elite strap broke, one, and telling them that they removed it the wrong way. They had it tight and they said, well, you shouldn't be taking it off like this. You need to be carefully unwinding the back and then taking it off the right way, 3, instead of doing it like this. A strap should be more durable than that, in my opinion. But they wanted to blame them. And actually, the fun thing about Reddit is a lot of the people have actually come back and said later on, oh, well, I said all that, and guess what? Mine just snapped when it was sitting there. So at least people are willing to admit when they are wrong. But it does seem like people report sometimes they have one for a few hours and it breaks. Sometimes they have it for months and they think, oh, mine's solid, mine's not gonna break, and then it breaks. Oculus has responded to this in at least one of the better ways they could. They guarantee them for 2 years. So if you have one that you've had for 2 years, you can replace it at any time in that, and you can even replace multiple. There are people on Reddit that are on their 4th strap that's broken now, which I think is kind of a pain, and it really shouldn't be like that, but that's what some people have had to go through. So we're really cinching this thing down tight. I will say, I wouldn't want to blame those people that had it break putting it on and off even like I am now, because it doesn't feel like you're doing anything wrong taking it off from the front. It is obviously going to be putting some strain in here. If you get this thing and you take it, it feels like it's solid. You wouldn't expect on first impression stuff that this thing would break. I mean, look at this. It came off the Quest before it had any sort of fracturing issues. I mean, it's allowing quite a bit of bend. So it really seems to me, from what I've seen, that it has more to do with the amount of time that it's exposed to the elements and not necessarily how you're treating it. But we're gonna take it to the next level. We're gonna take this thing out and we're gonna do some horrible things to it and see if we can get it to break. So even in this little range of testing and bending so far, I've got nothing showing up. I don't see any signs of micro cracks. I don't feel anything. The plastic seems fine. Yeah, you bend it too far and it just comes off the Quest. So let's take this out, let's do some terrible things to it. Not with the Quest attached. All right, this is drop test 1 from about 18 feet high, just drop straight, no pressure. We got some scuffing just from the street, nothing to do with the straps here, although it doesn't have the Quest holding it straight, so that might not help as much. We're gonna drop it this way this time. Whew, that was a solid landing that time. Landed right on the gear. Gear still sounds fine, actually really good. I really want it to land this way, but I don't know how I'm gonna do that without weighing the front end down. So this time I'm gonna give it a little gusto when I throw it. And chest 3. And 4. And 6. Still no visible damage. We don't have any weight. I need to simulate a Quest in here without dropping a Quest out my window. If we were being too nice, we have to put a headset in there. So we've got the headset in here. Next test. Gear still feels good. Okay, one more drop test. We got the gear all the way out. We're gonna put some pressure behind it. Okay, it didn't land on the gear that time though. Took some road rash. We're still working. We got some scuffs. We're gonna take this somewhere else. The stress test on the face, the drop test. Now we're doing the drag test. Let's go for a drive. Kind of hear it. There. This jet is gonna fall through. What are these guys doing? Sounds like it's taking a beating back there.
It does.
We're barely moving right now.
Doing all of probably 7 miles an hour.
This is on a closed private property. This is not on a public road because we are good citizens. The sound is getting worse, I feel like, or I'm just able to pick it out better.
Oh, here's this bump.
Boom! Let's go check on this thing. GoPro's still there. I was more worried about that. Woo! That looks bad. That took a beating. I think it's more dirty than anything else. Ooh, ooh. The gear didn't like it. I think there's all kinds of dirt in there. It's still functioning somehow, but it sounds terrible. You can hear there's dirt in the gear. We've done everything I can think of. We got only one thing left to do, so I'm borrowing John's truck real quick. Let's give it one last shot. One more?
Yeah, why not?
No way, no way. Well, the gear is done for right there, but amazingly, the part that I was hoping would break, which is what breaks on everyone else's, these side parts, is not broken. I can't believe that. The gear is wrecked though. It's got about 1 millimeter of movement it'll do. Let's get out of here. Well, that took a beating and a half. The one shocker here, the way these all naturally break over time, if you use it right, if you don't do this, is they tend to snap somewhere in this area on each side. What we did took more of a beating on the gear than anything else, and the gear is the only part that's actually broken. Oh, oh. I can kind of get some turning out of the gear if I really try. Okay, let's see. It is still barely usable if you really put some force into it. Look at that, elite strap. It's not, only one side is turning, I think is what's happening. I don't know what to say. They've admitted they break and it happens over time. So if you do have one out there and it's broken, contact Oculus, they'll replace it for up to 2 years for you. I don't think they're gonna replace this one for me because this was not a normal case use, but they should replace yours. So I gotta say, it took more than I expected it to, and it's still barely functioning. Maybe we'll hang this thing up somewhere as a badge of honor now, but it does not look nearly as nice as it did an hour ago. But I want to say thank you so much for coming out and watching us destroy this thing, and we'll see you in another reality.